All right, hey everybody, this is Joe with Sorta Like Golf. This is my first live stream ever, so bear with me for any technical difficulties, but I think this is going to be a good time. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about golf balls, and specifically, do they matter for high handicap golfers? So, I'm Joe with Sorta Like Golf. I am a high handicap golfer that's been trying really hard to get my handicap down over the last couple of years. And my channel is really focused on things like testing out golf balls, testing out different equipment, and trying them to see if it makes a difference, if it matters to my game as a high handicapper. I think that a lot of people know that, high handicappers aren't really spinning the ball on the green. We're not, looking for little small incremental changes. We just want the ball to stay in play and get in the hole in the least amount of shots possible. And so the way that we try to kind of look at that is finding some gear that will actually help us achieve those goals for not a lot of money. So my miss patterns are really kind of a slice, I think, is probably my biggest thing. And I don't have a lot of power behind my shots. I mean, my swing speed is really low. It's in the high 80s. So for that reason, we won't be talking a whole lot about which ball goes the furthest here. I mean, that really comes down to your personal swing and how fast you swing the golf club, how hard you hit the ball, that sort of thing. But what we will talk about is what I look for in a golf ball, what you should look for in a golf ball, and how to make the most out of the least amount of money spent. So we'll be looking at feel, we'll be looking at confidence, we'll be looking at forgiveness, and especially price. That's another big interaction or big piece of this. I've got a whole bunch of golf balls down here. We're going to be looking through all those, and I'll tell you a little bit about each one from my personal experience. This is not exhaustive. There are a million different types of balls out there, and so, I haven't played them all. These are ones, though, that I have actually played. I've either bought them myself, or as part of my channel, people have sent them to me to review. Even though I got free balls, I'm not going to just kind of glaze them here. If they didn't work for me, I'll let you know that. If they did work for me, I'll let you know that too. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The first ball, we'll kind of set a little bit of a baseline here. The first one that we're going to look at, and the one that is most important for my game, is this Maxfli. So let me put this up so you can see that. And this is the Straightfli. So a lot of golf balls claim to go straighter. They claim to help high handicappers and new golfers keep the ball in the fairway. This one really does that. So there are some patterns. I don't know if you can see them. We'll see if we can zoom in here. There's like little triangle dimples patterns in this ball, and it's not even all the way around. The dimple pattern is not even all over the entire ball, and they claim that when it's spinning through the air keeps it going straighter. I can confirm to you that those balls definitely do go straighter. They fly off the club really well. The distances I get with them are as good as with any other ball I've ever played, including like tour type balls, which is really cool. The only place it falls down a little bit is this is a plain old Surlyn cover, and it doesn't feel super awesome coming off of the putter. That's the only downfall of this ball, in my opinion. But to me, going straighter kind of trumps that, and so that's why I love this ball. The other thing I really love about this ball is that you can get them for $15 at Dick's all day, every day. $15 for a dozen of these things. Also, look at the color on this. I mean, it's which is going to be easier to find out in the brush, this one or this one? It looks like you could go hunting with this. I grew up in West Virginia and we used to hunt. This is what my vests used to look like. So in any event, the Maxfli Straightfli, great ball. Please let me know, in the chat, by the way, what balls you use. And if you're seeing this after the live stream is over, let us know down in the comments which ball you use and why. I'm really interested in that. So let's go we're going to break this down into balls that I normally would use and balls that I just kind of like happened upon. We'll start off with the ones that I have had in my bag and have used either out in handicap rounds or just, you know, trying to get my scores as low as I can. The first one we're going to start with is Vice. So this is the Vice Tour. This is the Vice ball that is kind of their lowest in their line. This was not my favorite one. I like the Pro Air, but I don't have any of those right now, so that's why I'm showing you this one. The Tour is a lot clickier than the Pro Air because the Pro Air has got a urethane cover. And just for those who don't really know anything about golf balls, there's really two main types of covers for golf balls generally. One is urethane, and that's like the high-end, really top of the line, usually more expensive golf balls are urethane, which is softer feeling. It is very durable. The other one is like a Surlyn. I think it's pronounced Surlyn covers. That's just more of a kind of regular plastic cover. It's a little bit clickier off the face of the club, and it has a distinct feel. If they don't make the ball right, I don't like them because of the feel that coming off the club. If they do make the ball right, they're fine. Like this Maxfli is fine. It's Surlyn cover, but you know it feels okay. So the Vice balls are good value for the money, especially if you're looking to kind of like get up in that upper echelon of balls. I think that you can usually find some good ones there. The next one that I'm going to go through here, and this is really one of my favorite golf balls that I've tried in the last year, because I know we talked about, we're not going to talk too much about distance, but this ball goes probably as far as I've ever hit a golf ball, and that is the Snell, let me get where I can get it, Snell Get Sum. I always laugh at the name of this thing. So they come in yellow and white. So this is a regular Surlyn cover, just like the last ball we looked at. But whatever they do to this thing at Snell, man, this thing flies off of the driver head. It really goes far. You know, again, it's not urethane, so it's not the best putting ball, but what you get here is a very inexpensive, very high flying ball that's definitely worth checking out for high handicappers, because if you're struggling to get the ball down the fairway, this thing is made to do that, and it definitely does it. Another cool ball out of the Snell camp is the Prime 2.0. Where am I? There I am. Prime 2.0. So this thing is the cheapest urethane cover ball that they offer. And it's a two-piece. That's why it's called Prime 2.0. So that means that there is one cover and then another cover on top of that. You know, and both of those are on top of the core of the golf ball. In general, the more covers that you get, the more piece balls, like a three-piece ball will have more control for really good golfers and that sort of thing. I have played four-piece balls, three-piece balls, two-piece balls, and then one-piece balls. I can't really tell a huge difference, if I'm being honest, in terms of what makes more difference to me is just the urethane versus Surlyn. Because my swing speed just frankly isn't fast enough to be able to get the spin on wedges and that kind of stuff. And so it doesn't really help me. But this guy definitely feels fantastic off the putter, like a lot of the urethane balls do. Again, Snell is a small manufacturer, and you'll see a theme here on the balls that I personally use because I really like to stick with the small manufacturers if I can. They're a small manufacturer out of Massachusetts, and I think the guy that started it actually was one of the developers of the ProV1, so he knows what he's doing. But his golf balls are really good, and they're not very expensive. They definitely are more expensive than like the ones that you buy at Dick's, but they don't even come close to the price point of like a Pro V1, Pro V1X, and that sort of thing. So good alternative for folks looking to get into the urethane game and not spend a ton of money. The next brand we're going to look at, and they sent me a whole bunch of balls to test, and I liked honestly all of them, but the one that I really like the best is this Snyder SnyTour ball. So I did a test of this one where I looked at, you know, if tour balls worked for high handicappers. So one of the reasons that tour balls are different than balls that are meant for high handicap golfers is that the compression of the ball, when you hit the ball, it's supposed to squish more or less. So the tour balls are harder because they assume that the tour players or really good players hit the ball so hard, they have enough power to compress a hard ball and it would go farther and give them more control. Whereas a softer ball, like this Maxfli Softfli, is a lot squishier, right? The compression is different on it. I wanted to test out, did that matter for somebody like me? And I can tell you it does not really matter for somebody like me. Now, if your swing speed is a little higher than mine in like the low or the mid 90s, it may make a difference. So your mileage may vary. But for me, it didn't matter. And in fact, I would prefer this ball over like a Callaway Super Soft because this one feels a lot better to me and it's a lot less expensive as well. But the Snyder balls are definitely cool. They're a great company. They actually used my video where I did a shootout with a couple of their balls down at the PGA Tour, at their booth at the PGA Tour show down in Orlando this week. So that was a fun little surprise to get. So yeah, SnyTour. That's kind of their tour ball. It's expensive. It's a tour ball, but you know, if you're looking to try something other than a Pro V1, that's a good one to try. All right, now let's see what else we have from Snyder. This is their version of their soft balls, and it is called the Soft Plus. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. It's actually really difficult to kind of like line up when I'm trying to show you guys this. It will focus on me if I don't do it exactly right. So this is their soft version. Of all the balls they sent me, this was my least favorite one, and I think I'm just finding that that's me not liking soft golf balls. This one does not have a urethane cover, but you know, it does play just like you know, a Callaway Super Soft. I've played a bunch of those, and that's what this ball feels like. So there you go. The last Snyder ball we're going to look at is the SnyProX, and I'll give you one guess as to what that's a direct competitor of. This is their hardest tour ball. This ball also flies really far. The issue with these types of balls, just to be aware of, is if you do have a slice, these will not help you at all. The tour style balls do not protect you from a bad swing. The stuff like the Maxfli Straightfli does, these do not. So you gotta have it together on your drives, or you'll be, you know, looking for these in the woods a lot. And that doesn't just go for the Snyder ball; it goes for any of these like Pro V1, Pro V1Xs, all of that kind of stuff. So just remember that when you're trying to pick which ball you wanna choose. I'm interested in seeing like what everybody else is using out there, because I mean there are so many to choose from. It's pretty wild, and it's fun to try a bunch of different ones. We're going to get into how you can try a bunch of different balls for almost no money here in a second. This is an interesting ball that I tested this year. This is the MG Senior ball. The thing about this ball is it's illegal. It's supposed to fly farther than any legal ball, and so it's marketed for senior golfers. I'm not quite a senior golfer, despite the gray hair and small and slow swing speed, but you you know, when I tried this out, it did go further, but honestly, not enough further that I could recommend it over some of the other kind of regulation balls that you could actually use for your handicap or in a tournament or something like that. You don't want to be using something like this and then get caught out if you're playing for money or you're playing in a tournament or something like that. It wouldn't be worth it. So, in any event, you could try it if you're looking to impress your buddies on a casual round. I will say that the people at MG are phenomenal people. They are the ones that made this really cool. The little ball marker for the green, they made this for me. It's snaps right to your hat so I don't lose it, which is super important because I always lose that kind of stuff. But yeah, MG Golf, give them a look. They're a cool company. All right, another one of my favorite brands, but I don't have my favorite ball because I ran out of them. This one though is the Sugar S. So this is Sugar's cheapest non-urethane ball. It's one piece. This is a really nice ball if you're looking for that kind of if you're looking for that entry-level golf ball that you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on and you're not going to mind losing and will perform well. These things really do perform well. They're just normal balls. I would categorize them as normal balls, but they worked well for me. The Sugar Q, though, which stands for Sugar Quad, is a 4-piece urethane, and that ball has the best green feel and chipping feel I've ever played on a ball, and it ain't even close. The Sugar Quad ball is really, really cool. If you're looking for a ball that will be fantastic around the greens, no matter if you're a 6 handicap or a 26 handicap, you should try out that Sugar Quad ball. You can check them out on their site up there, obviously. Another illegal ball, but it's not illegal like the other one was. This one just hasn't been officially sanctioned by the PGA. Is this thick golf ball, and it's not overweight. The reason it's called thick is because it's got this big old thick line that goes all the way around the ball, and that's supposed to improve your putting. This ball has got a urethane cover. This one is the thick Moonshot, and I think it's a 3-piece urethane. It feels really nice coming off the clubs. It feels really good when you are putting with it. Keep in mind that if you're playing in a tournament, this is not legit for that tournament, so don't forget that. But just playing regular rounds of golf, these are cool, and it's a really small family-owned company, which I love. I love to support people like that. So look them up. I had never heard of them before, and then I got served up one of their ads on like Facebook or something. So I reached out and they sent me these. They're great. They're cool balls, and this thing actually does work. Not only on putting, but on drives too. You can kind of like set it up to really get your aim. Step back behind the ball, and it helps you do that. I thought it would just be like total gimmick BS, but it wasn't. It actually did help me. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, thick. All right, I got a couple more that are kind of in my bag right now. The first one, and I love this because anything that's named after a Norse god, I'm down with. The ODIN X1. So ODIN is another kind of boutique manufacturer, and this is a tour level ball from them. It's urethane, multiple layered. This ball also flies really far, so it's very good for people like me because it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. These guys do a really good job of keeping their tour style ball prices about $15 less than what the Pro Vs and all that kind of stuff are running these days. So another small brand you might want to check out. Yeah, really like these. Now, another brand that you may be really familiar with if you've ever been to like Walmart or one of those big box stores, that I was very pleasantly surprised. Cut. So the cut balls are very inexpensive. these are urethane covers. This is the cut gray. They have several different ones. I typically kind of work with the middle of the ball line to the bottom, right? Because I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm never spending $50 for a box of balls. I'm just not gonna do that. So these guys don't even come close to that. But they're urethane ball that feels really good. I mean, they're available everywhere. I recommend these guys. They're durable as can be. Like, I've knocked these off of trees, cart paths, all of that. They're really durable balls. I will say, though, that I don't like all the balls in their line. The cut red, I tried those, and I had durability issues with that. So it could have just been a bad batch of balls. I think it probably was, but they weren't as durable, and they didn't feel as good either. That's the really super cheap cut balls. But these guys are super affordable and really nice golf balls. So yeah, something else to try. All right, so now we're going to get into some balls that I haven't bought. I wasn't sent. I ended up like finding these balls or had them given to me. So the first one we're going to talk about is Bridgestone. So Bridgestone, rather, not Brookstone. Brookstone is like a weird store in the mall from the 1990s. You can tell I'm a Gen Xer. So I don't know hardly anything about this brand when it comes to golf balls. So educate me in the comments. Like, do you like these? Which models do you like? I don't really know enough about them to be able to talk about them. But the ones that I've played, that I've found, and I've found quite a few of these because they're pretty popular. It never really clicked with me. So interested to see like what you guys think about this brand, and do they work for you? Do you think they would work for other high handicap golfers? You also find out there the bottom of the bottom, right? So in this case, it's the Wilson Chaos. I have to tell you that the Wilson Chaos, for me, and these are all just my personal opinions, right? But for me, rank right up there with the old top flights. I don't like these balls. I don't like these kinds of balls. They feel like you're hitting a child's toy. Like, they're really super ultra clicky off of every club, especially the putter. And I find them hard to control. I don't dig it. I don't like I don't like these super cheap ones. I pretty much just leave those when I find them for that reason. And I don't lose balls like crazy either when I'm out there playing, so maybe that plays into it. But I mean, these are all dirt cheap, and you pretty much get what you pay for on that. I'm not a proponent of paying big money for golf balls, but paying like 10 cents a ball or whatever is not going to cut it. Another Maxfli, I was talking about the Maxfli that I really like, the Straightfli. This is the Softfli. So this is their kind of version of the Callaway Super Soft kind of thing. I have trouble controlling this ball, and I've tried several of them. This is one I found, but I actually bought a box of these, and I had a whole lot of trouble keeping it on the fairway. Your mileage may vary, but it didn't help me all that much to use these Softfli Maxfli balls. I think this year, though, I'm going to go to Dick's and get a whole big sample to try of all the line to see if there are any others that I like, because I love that Straightfli so much. So yeah, more to come, but the Softfli for me, not my favorite. This one's going to be pretty divisive. So this is a ProV1. All right, so there's the ProV1 with the Sorta Like Golf logo, which I love that. But the difference is this one is refinished. So people really viscerally hate refinished golf balls, and I don't personally get it. I can tell you that I got these guys, I got a ProV1X, and then I also got a Callaway Chrome Soft. So these are actual, the way these are made, these are actual ProV1X Chrome Soft, Callaway, TP5s, whatever. They're actual balls that have just been recovered. And I couldn't tell a single difference between these and the actual Pro V1s that I've played. These are so much cheaper, man. If you are hell bent for leather on getting Pro V1 in your bag, you really have zero to lose to go to Renew Golf Balls and try these out. I mean, they're so cheap up there. Just go to renewgolfballs.com. Tell them Joe sent you. But go there and just get a box of these things and give them a try. You're going to be surprised. I can tell you, you are absolutely going to be surprised. And again, yes, they gave me these balls. I put my logos on them and stuff, which I love. They're really nice folks. But I'm not just saying that because of that. When I used those balls, they worked absolutely exactly the same as any regular Titleist or Callaway that I've ever played. And I haven't just found the Callaways or Titleists. Well, the Titleist I did, but not the Callaways, because I used to actually buy those. They're the same, man, from my perspective. Again, your mileage may vary. This is just my one man's opinion. Here's the old cut red. Again, we already talked about that. Not really my fave. I couldn't honestly recommend that guy. All right, now let's get to the heart of the matter for people. The non-refinished Titleist ProV1, and is this ball worth it for high handicap golfers? I'm not a expert in golf ball manufacturing. I'm not an expert in golf, but I am living the high handicap life, the new golfer life, and I can tell you that I think it's dumb to pay $50 for a box of golf balls. That's a ridiculous amount of money for balls that play just as well, in my personal opinion, as all the ones that we've been talking about for way, way less. I want to hear in the comments why you think I'm an idiot for saying that, because, man, people that think that Pro V1s and Pro V1Xs are for everybody, especially like the slower swing speed, the people that believe that, and they're like religious about it. So let's hear it. Let's hear what you got to say. You got a lot of convincing to do to get me to go out there and use it. I've used them, but I use the ones that I find on the course, because there are a lot of people that buy them and then hit them right into the woods, and so that's where I go to look, and that's how I get them. So thank you for purchasing this. I appreciate it. I'm able to use Pro V1s because of you. Thank you, person who loves to use Pro V1s even though you're a high handicap golfer. The last one I want to talk about, because it's right up there with the Pro V1s, but has a very distinct difference that I think makes it much more relatable and much more useful for the high handicap golfer. You know it, you love it, the Kirkland. Let's get it right there so you can see. So, these things test exactly the same as a Pro V1 almost all the time. Whenever you see like the actual like My Golf Spy testing or any of that kind of stuff, exactly the same. The cost of these at Costco is so much cheaper. Man, if you're going to play those if you're insistent upon playing those pro level golf balls, go here. This will save you so much money. You won't have to worry when you're swinging the driver as hard as you can about losing one. It won't matter. These are urethane covers. I will say that I really like playing these around the green. The reason I don't play it that often, and the reason I don't go buy them, this is so stupid. This is the stupidest reason to not play golf ball. But I really, really hate the graphic design on the logo. It really looks like cheesy boomer graphic design, and that's just not my aesthetic, I guess. I don't know. That's the dumbest reason ever to not play golf ball. But whatever, it is what it is. So, so those are the balls that I kind of wanted to talk about. I had a couple notes here, so I just want to make sure I'm like not missing anything. But I want to ask you guys, like, so what ball do you think that I should try? Like, what's your recommendation for me? You can just put down in the comments, what you think is really good for this level of golf, and do golfers that don't hit in the low, golfers that aren't a 6 handicap, does it matter for them? I think it does, for a couple of reasons. The number one being confidence, standing over the ball. I think you get, if you're confident with the ball and you like the ball, it's like that Kirkland thing. I think it doesn't impart confidence to me, but some of the others, like the design really does. That ODIN ball, I think, is so cool, and so that kind of thing helps. But does it matter for you? Do you care? And do you like a soft feel or a firm feel? Do you feel like you can hit it further with a more expensive ball than a non-expensive one? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about that. There's another thing. I just put out a video, and the reason that I'm doing this live stream today rather than golfing is because I'm getting ready to get 10 inches of snow here in the East Coast. For winter versus summer, do you change your ball out? I personally don't, but I know a lot of people do. And if you do that, do you get a really good benefit out of that? One trick that I do one trick that I do though when I go golfing in the winter is I definitely put the balls I'm going to use in my pocket all the way to the golf course so that they warm up. I don't want to be hitting a cold golf ball because it doesn't go even nearly as far. So yeah, look, here's the long and the short of this. There's not a right answer for a golf ball. What matters is, do you like it? Is it in your budget? And most of all, are you having fun using it? If you have more fun playing ProV1X's brand new straight out of the box, man, go get them. If you have more fun saving money, then go check out these Maxfli balls or anything in between. Any of the brands that I talked about at the beginning of this, the Snells, the ODIN, the what else? Even the Cut. Any of those brands, I could recommend to you. They're all solid brands. But let me know what you're using, and please do like and subscribe to the channel. We're really trying to bump up our subscriptions. That's what we need right now, and it's what enables me to be able to make these videos for folks. I have such a great time doing it, and I hope you found something interesting and useful in this. And if you have any ideas for future content, I want to hear that too. Let me know, and keep swinging out there. It's winter, but as soon as the snow melts, get out. Don't just sit on your couch all winter long. All right, well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.